Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron, and as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're viewing the show, man. We appreciate you checking in. Always remember, if you're not a subscriber already, please click the subscribe, like, follow, share, and you can also click on the content or notifications button so you can get your content first. Hope everybody's doing well. As you can see, I don't have on the Tees and Trees shirt today. Today's a very special day. My son, Aaron Cameron, is signing or officially signing to Lander University at Ridgeview High School today at 12 p.m. So me and the wife are off. We're going to go celebrate that day. But before we do, I got a couple beefs I got to go over. Shout out to the guys from the Hot Seat Podcast. I wasn't able to make it on Sunday. I haven't watched the show that they did. They always do a great job. I'm going to check it out a little later on. But let's talk NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs, quick review of the first round, my thoughts, and then we'll give some predictions for the second round. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. First of all, I believe I picked the Bucks, they lost. I picked the Pistons, they lost. I won the other two, so I was 2-2 in the Eastern Conference. Western Conference, I picked the Lakers, they lost. I picked the Nuggets, they won. I picked the Thunder, and I also picked the Warriors. So I was 3-1. So overall, sounds like 5-3. That's not a bad first round, but it is what it is, man. Eastern Conference, man. The Knicks beat the Pistons, won that series 4-1, got them out of there. Shout out to the Knicks fans, man. Shout out to the Knicks fans. The Knicks won last night. They are playing now the Boston Celtics, matched up with them. It's a great game. My thoughts on this series in particular, first of all, again, another shout out to the Knicks fans. Chewy, Kenneth Pompey, Carlos Derrick, guys I know are loyal Knicks fans. They've been Knicks fans even when they sucked. They don't suck. They're a good team. Jalen Brunson hit a huge shot against the Pistons to pretty much end the series. I didn't like the no call in the Tim Hardaway thing, but it's not the reason why the Knicks won. You have to give them credit. They stuck with it. They're a good defensive team. They made shots. They made key plays, and Brunson is a dog. That was a great move. Very Jordan reminiscent, not Jordan, but very reminiscent of that shot he hit in Utah. It was a great shot, and against a great defender. Amen Thompson is a absolute dog on defense, and he hounded Brunson the entire series. Knicks won that series. Pacers surprised me. The Pacers really surprised me. They're one of those teams that kind of struggled throughout the regular season and kind of hit their stride towards the end. I didn't think they had enough to beat Milwaukee. I didn't think their style of play was going to be enough, but shout out to the Pacers. Shout out to the Pacers, man. They ran them out the gym, 4-1. The Halliburton dad thing, I didn't like. Nobody likes it. I don't think anybody was like, yeah, he was within his right, except for Shaq, stupid ass. But I didn't like it. I didn't like running up on an opponent, taunting them right after a game. That guy's still running hot, man. If he'd have slapped the shit out you, all kind of charges would have been pressed. And then I'm hearing he's on podcast talking about the shit. Like, you ain't sorry you did that shit. But that's fine. History and life has a way of humbling you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. History and life has a way of humbling you. As a father, I completely understand being hyped for your son. They was talking down on him. And he showed out. He hit the game-winning shot to close out the series. Great series win by the Indiana Pacers. The Cavs, we're not going to talk about. They destroyed the Miami Heat. I don't want to put no disrespect on the Heat. They destroyed them. Boston, I knew what it was. Orlando 4-1. Boston 4-1. It wasn't. I figured Orlando would get a game, maybe even two. They came close in that last game, but it's just too much. Let's talk about the matchups in the East now, though. Boston against New York. New York stole game one last night. Again, another shout out to the Knicks, man. They are surprising me. I would have definitely took or picked Boston to at least win game one. But you have to credit the Knicks, man. The Knicks are playing, and they seem to be hitting their stride a little bit. Now, with all the praise I'm giving the Knicks fans, let's calm down. I'm not picking y'all to win the series. Absolutely not. I still got the Celtics 4-2. Barring any type of catastrophic injuries, yeah, they're going to get y'all ass up out of here. And the reason why I say that is this. The Knicks stole that game last night. They took that game. They played better. They played harder, and they won. The Celtics shot 63 pointers and missed 45 of them, and y'all won by 3 in overtime. Let's just let that sink in for a second. The Celtics shot 63 pointers and they missed 45, and y'all won by 3 in overtime. Now, that's not to take anything. Calm down, Knicks fans. I know you're about to go crazy. That's not to take anything away from the Knicks. I just feel like the Celtics are the better team. When they're coming off of a championship, this isn't meaningful basketball for them. And I know that sounds stupid, but what I mean by meaningful basketball is like it's not the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not the finals. We saw them turn up last year in the finals. We saw them turn up last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now they're going to have to turn up now. When they do, New York is going to be the victim. New York is going to be a victim. I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. I can come on here and say I'm wrong. But shout out to the Knicks for a great win last night. But I still got the Celtics to win that series 4-2. Mainly because I don't think Mikal Bridges is going to be able to hound Jaylen Brown like that every game. I don't think the Celtics are going to miss 45 3-pointers. I think Kristaps Porzingis at some point in time is going to destroy Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, that's no disrespect on Towns, who's been playing great basketball. He didn't have a great game last night. I picked him on Prize Picks. He didn't cover, you son of a bitch. But for the most part, man, you got to give Tom Thibodeau credit. It's their style of basketball. It's gritty. It's in your face. Josh Hart, I love Josh Hart. Great player. Doesn't get enough credit on that Knicks team. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to get over the talent that the Celtics have. And it's going to come down to injury and game planning and things of that nature. But we'll see how they adjust. The second or the next playoff series, they're going to play game 2 tonight, is the Cavs versus the Pacers. Pacers went in there and stole game 1. Stole it. Now, the Cavs didn't have Darius Garland, and I know what a lot of people are saying. It doesn't matter. It's playoff time. It's next man up. That's a big piece missing. But Halliburton was outstanding. Again, Siakam, solid. Miles Turner, solid. Nembhard had an amazing game. I like Nembhard. He's got a little brother that plays at Gonzaga who's really, really good as well. The Pacers have the pieces to beat the Cavs. They can. They can. I'm going to take the Cavs. I don't know what the situation is with Mitchell's injury and Garland's injury, but I feel like the Cavs, when the Cavs start playing basketball the way that they play basketball, I think they're going to be able to overpower that. I do think this series is going at least 7, though. I might be wrong, but I'm going to take the Cavs 4-3. I think the pace of play is causing the Cavs problems because they got those twin towers. You got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Those guys have to get up and down the floor. Evan Turner, Siakam, those guys run. Halliburton, when he gets the ball off the rim, he's running. They're firing the ball up. They move the ball well. So it does cause some type of problems. But I think in the end, I think the Cavs will find a way to find the matchups that they need in order to be able to win this series. But it's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good series. We're going to move over to the West Coast and talk about the matchups that we have right now, which is Denver versus OKC, which was a great game last night. And then we got Minnesota and Golden State playing tonight. Denver and OKC played a really good game last night. I actually fell asleep. Ended up winning a couple dollars on Prize Picks because I put in a quick parlay, but shout out to those guys. I thought they took advantage of Chet Holmgren last night. Jokic was unstoppable. Jokic is unstoppable. He's considered to be up for his 3rd MVP award. Jokic is Jokic. Jokic is a baller. No matter how you look at him, whether he's pretty or athletic and flying through the air like Jordan or doing all these moves, Jokic is unstoppable. Okay, so that was going to be a problem regardless. But Aaron Gordon, I think, is the key. They have to do something about that. You can't let Aaron Gordon dominate the way he dominated last night. And Russell Westbrook played well. He's coming back home to OKC. I knew he'd play well. Shout out to Westbrook. He covered. Shout out to you, Brody. And, I don't think anything – OKC, I think, is in a little bit more trouble than I think the Celtics are. And the reason why I say that is because they're younger. They're trying to get there. You're supposed to be hungry. You're supposed to be coming out and dominating the Denver Nuggets, right now. And I said it at the beginning, the Denver Nuggets absolutely can make a run to the finals. That Jokic, Murray, Gordon, the way that they play, listen, they can make a run. I'm not picking them to win this series. I'm going to take OKC. I am. I'm going to take OKC because I think once they settle in and they start actually playing OKC basketball, I feel like they played OKC basketball last night, but Denver played it better. And you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. It's going to be a good series. This one I think is going to go 6 or 7 as well. But OKC is in a little bit of trouble because you already gave up one and now you got to go get one in Denver, which is, they can do it. They can do that. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. But you kind of want to get that game one. Moving on to the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Golden State Warriors. Both came out of, I wouldn't say necessarily tough series. I think Golden State had a tougher time than Minnesota, surprisingly. We'll get back to the whole Lakers thing in just a minute. Golden State proved why they're champions. Went into Houston, won Game 7. That's a big win. Now you got to play Minnesota. I like Minnesota in this series. And I'll say this. Anthony Edwards, if he makes it to the finals, everybody's been saying, and a lot of people feel that Dirk's run to a championship was the greatest. And I agree. That's one of the greatest runs I've ever seen. If Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves happen to win a championship this year, this path is the greatest. No doubt. Not even close. The Minnesota Timberwolves would have beaten LeBron James and Luka Doncic. They would have knocked off Stephen Curry. And then you're going to either play the Denver Nuggets or the OKC Thunder, which both have MVP candidates on their team. Greatest run ever. Anthony Edwards, I think his biggest asset is not the scoring. Everybody gets so caught up in he's flying through the air. He's such a dog and he talks shit. It's his playmaking that has gotten better. That's what Dallas did to him last year. They made him a playmaker and he wasn't ready to do that. His teammates weren't ready to do that. They're ready to do it this year. They look scary. They look very, very, very dangerous. But you are playing against a championship caliber team. You are playing against Steph Curry, who is the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He can get hot. Jimmy Butler is a dog in the playoffs. We know who playoff Jimmy is. He can absolutely neutralize. I'm not going to say neutralize Ant. I don't think he is afraid of Ant or anything like that. Jimmy Butler is an absolute dog when it comes to playoff time, and he doesn't affect the game just with scoring. It's playmaking, it's rebounding, it's defense. Draymond is Draymond. He's definitely going to do some goofy shit. But, you got to give Draymond credit, man. He's a great defender. I thought what he did against Sagoon, it does cement him as one of the best defenders we've ever seen. He really is. But he has a lot of extra shit that kind of gets on people's nerves. So I like the Timberwolves. So let's kind of do a recap. I like the Timberwolves in 6. I like OKC in 7. I like the Cavs in 6. And I also like the Celtics in 6. And that will lead to OKC versus Minnesota, which I think everybody wants to see Shea go against Ant for it all. And that leaves Boston versus the Cavs, which 1 and 2 seed in the East kind of makes sense. I want to touch on the Lakers real quick. And, when people lose, man, you just expect it. But I'm going to make a plea right now for LeBron James, who is my favorite basketball player of all time. This is no shade. This is not a credit to him. This is for the idiots and goofies who will have nothing to talk about when LeBron James is done. Just retire, bro. Just retire. Like, you don't have nothing left to prove. If you make a move or the Lakers make a move to improve their team, which every team should do when you lose, it's not giving LeBron help. It's improving the fucking team. You fucking idiots. Just retire, bro. Just retire. And if you're not going to retire, then make next year your last year. Because I've never seen an athlete be completely destroyed by everybody because he's compared to your favorite. I've never seen that. I didn't see it with Jordan. I didn't see it with Kobe. I've never seen this shit. Like, and my reasoning behind it is this. Look at Kobe Bryant's last 5 years in the league. I'm going to put the post up here. I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to put the graphic up there. Now look at Michael Jordan's last 2 years with the Wizards. Nobody said anything when these teams weren't competitive. You know what I mean? I've heard people saying, oh, he's not taking a pay cut. Nobody takes a pay cut towards the end. Nobody. Kobe was he was the highest paid player in the league. Highest paid. No pay cuts, no hometown discounts, and his Lakers finished 14th in the West. Where's the same energy? Where's the same energy? LeBron James is an all-time great. If you don't have him as a GOAT, fine. Okay, whatever. He's an all-time great. It's the goofy-ass comments from Charles Barkley. If LeBron James loses this series, he's no longer a top 5 player. Motherfucker, what were you in Houston? You are a top 75 fucking player. Were you motherfuckers even competitive? You had Scottie Pippen and Hakeem Olajuwon, and you motherfuckers couldn't win. And Clyde Drexler, one of the greatest 2 guards of all time. So what's your fucking excuse? Are you no longer a top 75 player? Let's move over to who else had something to say? Some goofy shit. Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury shit, I'm going to stay out of it because that's some personal shit you got against LeBron. That's some personal shit. Like, I get it. If LeBron's not your GOAT or you don't consider him a GOAT, which personally I don't believe there is a such thing as a GOAT in a team sport. It should be a GOAT team. That's my personal belief. But that's personal. But to come out your mouth and be like, he don't even belong in the same breath as Kobe or I'm just tired of it, bro. I'm just tired of it. And you're going to see a lot of people who think they know something about basketball not have anything to say when he retires. They're not going to have any type of intellectual content about basketball. There are at least 7 guys that I look and see on Instagram that have created probably at least 20 reels about how LeBron James is not the GOAT. Let me ask you something. Why would you waste that much energy creating a reel to explain why somebody's not the GOAT instead of just talking about your GOAT? Oh, because your GOAT hadn't played in over 20 years? Oh, because you're still stuck in the 90s? Oh, you still stuck in the fact that Kobe Bryant retired in 2015? Bro, it's 2025. The game of basketball is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to move on. So this whole bullshit about he's not Kobe and he's not, bro. He's not. All he is one of the greatest we've ever seen. Regardless of how you feel. That's why I don't do arguing. Because it's pointless, man. It's fucking pointless, man. But look, I needed to get a quick episode in. I got to make it to this signing. I'm not going to let y'all put me in a bad mood today. I appreciate the check-in. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, share, and follow. Also, click the notification button so you can get your content first. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. It's the Front Office Podcast. Tees and Trees is the sponsor. Peace.